First of all, I must say about the video, real quick. My wife played field hockey when we were students. When field hockey was, like most of the women's sports, it's really kind of glorified interhall sport. To see that video and see how many women were in it, featured as part of great athletic teams here at Notre Dame. I am so proud of student over 35 years to see what has happened to our athletic department, how broad-based it is, and how good it is. The line I always use with people is I've gone from students to alum, to donor, to parent, and now invest as the father of 2 graduates. Couldn't be more proud. Dick is here. Dick, your daughter's played, right? Both your daughters played. It's great to see Dick Vitale here. Have a great season again. One last thing before we bring our guests up. It's absolutely fun for me to be here this weekend because John conveniently left out that I did broadcast Stanford football for 13 years. And believe it or not, in those 13 years, I never once called Stanford winning a game here. And I'd always have the same dilemma every year because I'd come back and my family would be here, friends, and I'd be bouncing around all the tailgates in the parking lot, and then 30 minutes before kickoff, I had to flip the switch and go back upstairs and work for Stanford. People always said, how do you do that? I said, well, when the game starts, I work for Stanford, and so I'm careful. I really wanted Stanford to go 11-1 every year, and so today I can formally drop this and just say, we, and I feel so comfortable. And the last game I was here working for Stanford, my parents came. My parents dropped me off here when I was a freshman, came back for graduation. That's kind of the way it was done back then. Never saw them in between. So my father and mother came to that game. It was 2006 or somewhere in there. And my NBC friends were gracious enough to give me 2 sideline passes. So my mother and father went down on the field to watch warm-ups. I had to go upstairs to work. I found out later from my mother told me that when the Irish Guard walked out on the field, the band came out, the team charges, the anthem gets played, and my father, who was this incredibly rough, unsentimental man, had tears in his eyes. And that's what we all have to remember. It's very easy to take all of this for granted. What an amazing, special place this is on football Saturdays that we're a part of. Of course, in learning the NFL over the last 18 months, I've become an NFL Network addict, and I've learned so much from watching him and his ability to explain football in very understandable terms. So please welcome Mike Mayock. Mike, great to have you here. Boston College you played. Mike played for a couple of years in the NFL as well for the New York Giants. But that's the one thing I was asking you, the BC, you never got to play in.
I knew you were going to start with that, right? The whole BC thing. In my 5 years at BC, the 2 teams I wanted to play the most were Notre Dame, because I was a Catholic kid that grew up in Philadelphia and they didn't recruit me, and Penn State, because I was from Pennsylvania. So they were the 2 teams we wanted to play, and in my 5 years we didn't get to play either.
You did play Stanford, right? You had a game against the quarterback there that was not bad.
John Elway was a pretty good football player, and they were number 10 or 11 in the country, and we beat them 30-13, and the whole defense had a pretty good game.
A little bit in the game at Stanford last year, but another young man who's a terrific quarterback, and actually these 2 guys know each other a little bit, so we'll talk about that as we welcome up now Notre Dame quarterback Dane Christ. See you. Go. All right, so now we can immediately tell what Friday afternoon is like when you get this assignment, right? Nice suit. Thank you very much. Very, very good. You know, I didn't realize, John Heisler was telling me this, you had 20 snaps, right? Playing time before the Purdue game this year.
Yes, sir.
That's incredible. You feel like you've come along incredibly fast given that, now 3 games in?
I really do, and you know, it's just been a situation where I've just gained such a confidence each week, and just being out there, and you know, you can simulate so many things in practice, and there's just certain situations though that you just can't emulate, and the only way to experience those situations is through a game. So each week, you know, I feel that, you know, we're growing as an offense, and you know, I'm just becoming more and more comfortable out there.
What was the road game, right? Because again, people get accustomed to the pros where the quarterbacks have radios in their helmets and it helps with play call, and you don't have that luxury here. So what was it like to experience the first hostile crowd?
See, it's crazy to, you know, when you present that situation like that, but as an athlete, as a competitor, I mean, you love playing in those games. I mean, I just enjoyed being in an environment where everyone's booing you, you know, throwing stuff at you as you're getting off the bus, and the only guys you have are your teammates and your coaches and the people that you truly care about. And I love that environment. Now, I'm not going to say it, you know, wasn't an experience or, you know, eye-opening for me being out there, but those are the games you love to play in, and you love competing in those as an athlete.
Well, at Michigan, started coaching with Brian and followed him from Central to Cincinnati to here, is the special teams coach. So please welcome to the stage now, Mike Elston. All right, Mike Elston. So now, unlike Mike Mayock, you did have a chance to play here, right? Since it's a college team.
I wouldn't say I played here. I was a part of a team that played here. I was a younger player at the time, and I was on the team. But I ran down the tunnel and experienced the game day experience, but I didn't play on the field much at that time.
Okay, what's it been like coming back on the home side?
Oh, it's a great experience, and it hit me as Mike was talking about when he heard the fight song being played by the band. It hit me in the spring game when we were on the field warming up, and then after that we left the field and went up the tunnel, and I heard the fight song being played, and that's when it hit me that I was at Notre Dame, and I had a chill go down my spine at that point.
You know, talk Mike about this continuity that I referenced, the fact that your staff, this is the bulk of the staff has now been together from Central to Cincinnati to here.
Right. Well, it's great for us, and really, you know, one guy in particular for me, besides obviously Coach Kelly, is Bob Bianco. Bob and I have been together for many stops, and our last one being at Cincinnati and now at Notre Dame. And the continuity that we have that we can share with the rest of the guys on the defensive staff at least, it just blends so well, and it allows us to work together very well.
Checking here, because I promised John I'd keep my iPhone out here, because I know how coaches are with time. So Coach Kelly, come on out here. We're close to being on time. Coach Brian Kelly, everybody. All right. You know, I don't know this because we haven't had a chance to talk yet. I'm just curious if you had a chance to talk to Coach D'Antonio at all during the week.
No, he obviously, as everybody knows, had a heart attack after the game, and we got the news Sunday, and we sent on our best wishes, obviously, for a speedy recovery. But he's got so many friends in the business. I wasn't going to be the one that was calling him on that day, but he got released from the hospital, and we heard good things.
It sort of puts everything in some pretty sobering perspective, doesn't it?
It does. You know, clearly in this profession, you have to be you know, in great physical condition and make sure you get the checkups, because there's a little bit of stress out there, isn't there? Just a little. We seem really quiet. Are we okay today? Out there? We're going to be okay now, all right? We're going to be all right. We're going to have a great game tomorrow. We're going to have a great atmosphere. So make sure you're just tuning up your vocal cords to yell loudly tomorrow, okay? Sounds good.
That was over Goshen High School. Rick Meyer was matriculating through there and played baseball with Rick, and has a great question for you.
Hi, Coach. If 100% is a well-oiled machine, how close in percent is this team to getting your system?
Well, when you talk about system, I think that's all-encompassing. I think that's you know, how you respond when you're 1-2 and how you respond when you're 3-0. I think we're close. We're probably, you know, 3/4 of the way there. I'd like to know that our players understand that 75% is not where we want to be. I think they clearly understand that. The nice part about it is we're moving in that direction, and that's why I'm very confident this football team is going to have great success.